Today's video is going to be all about the humble cabbage. Now, I don't know about you, but what tends to happen in my household is that I will buy a cabbage and then it will be sitting at the very back of the fridge for weeks on end and sort of just slowly disintegrating, waiting for its time to shine, watching all of these other vegetables get to join the fridge, leave the fridge, perhaps with the exception of like that bag of spinach and some carrots that are slowly sort of shriveling up. It's just waiting for its time to shine, and today is exactly that day. And if we are looking at benefits of cabbage, for one, it's a relatively cheap vegetable. I think I paid something like, or maybe just put this down. I think I paid something like 79 pence for this, even though it kind of looks like it's fallen victim of a little bit of shrinkflation. Maybe it's just not cabbage season. So it's a relatively cheap way to bulk out a meal. And the fact that it does, even if you leave it in the fridge for weeks on end, it does tend to keep quite well. You can just peel off some of the outer layers and you still have crispy goodness underneath. And beyond this, it's also a good source of dietary fiber and vitamins like K and C. So there's lots to be loved about cabbage. And when you cook it, like caramelize it or roast it, it actually transforms into something quite delicious, which we will find out today. So first up, we are making this super simple yet delicious stir fry by the very talented plant-based RD. For this, we'll start by sauteing the white parts of some spring onion and then adding some grated ginger and garlic. Into this we'll crumble a block of tofu, followed by some smoked paprika and coriander. And then finally we'll add in our cabbage, and once this has been caramelized, it's time to pour over a mix of soy sauce, vinegar, maple syrup and sesame oil. This was then served on a bed of white rice with the green parts of the spring onion sprinkled on top. Our second recipe is for okonomiyaki, which is a type of savory Japanese pancake that I'm sure you could twist and tweak in all sorts of yummy combinations. This is, however, the very first recipe that I came across and I really enjoy it. So to start off, we are going to combine some wheat and chickpea flours with some baking powder, water and soy sauce. And then we will whisk this around to create a batter. And don't worry if it's looking a little bit lumpy. Mine normally does because of the chickpea flour, but it doesn't tend to affect the pancake itself. To this, we will be adding our shredded cabbage, some carrot, a block of smoked tofu, coriander, ginger, and then some spring onion. And then we're just folding this into the batter. The pancakes will be fried on a medium to high heat for, say, 4 to 5 minutes per side. In the original recipe, you're meant to be making 3 large pancakes, but I find it a bit too difficult to flip them, so I tend to stick to making smaller ones, using about half a cup of batter per pancake. Whilst these are frying, we will be combining equal parts of water and tahini with some olive oil, fresh garlic and lemon juice to make a sauce to drizzle on top of the pancake. Now, between the chickpea flour, the smoked tofu and the tahini, these pancakes turn out to be a really good source of protein. I think it's something around 20 grams per serving. Then with the remaining bit of shredded cabbage, we are going to be making a quick little Asian-inspired slaw. So combining the cabbage, the carrot and a julienne green apple with some cashew nuts and toasted sesame seeds. To this we're adding about half a cup each of fresh mint and coriander. And then to this mixture, we will pour a dressing that consists of sesame oil, vegan fish sauce, some lime juice, and olive oil. And there it goes. Similar to the mayo version of coleslaw, I feel like the apple is such a beautiful addition to this very simple dish. And last but not least, we are making roasted cabbage with a savory yogurt sauce. If you're only going to be trying one of these recipes today, please make sure it's this one. It's such a simple yet elevated and I want to say like elegant way of eating cabbage. So to start, we are just brushing both sides of our cabbage with a mix of olive oil, za'atar and black pepper before popping them in the oven to roast. For the yogurt sauce, we are combining a vegan Greek yogurt, some mustard, lemon juice, fresh garlic and olive oil. And then to assemble, we are simply going to place the roasted cabbage on top of a bed of yogurt sauce and then drizzling this with some chili oil and some fresh parsley. Seriously, you should really try this. It's delicious and the cabbage turns out so sweet, yet with a bit of crunch once it's out of the oven. And as a final little note, all of these recipes that I've used will be linked in the description box down below. Let me know if you try any of them.